This video, I'm going to talk about how I got into the gutter cleaning industry. If you guys have been following my channel at all, you'll know a little bit how I got into it. I've alluded to it in a couple of different videos, but anyways, it all started during the pandemic, really. 2017, 18, 19, 20, I'm in the roofing industry, and I'm 100% commission sales rep at the time. I had fluctuated on the leadership side and just being 100% commission because of the freedom aspects. At the time of this, I was 100% commission sales rep, right? So if you guys are familiar with that, essentially I would go out and get work via knocking doors. That's where I learned and kind of cultivated that skill via storm damage, so hail damage or wind damage due to hurricanes or things like that. I would help homeowners get new roofs paid for by insurance, and I would receive a commission based off of the size of the job, right? In short, a lot of times I'd get $2,000 or $3,000 per job. A couple months prior to the COVID hitting and the lockdown happening, I had a homeowner ask me after doing a roof inspection if I would be willing to clean their gutters. And my initial thought was, no, I don't want anything to do with this. But after considering it just momentarily, and she's saying, hey, the last guy did it for $200. I was like, I'll clean them for $200. That's not a small amount of money. In the gutters probably took me an hour, hour and a half because I didn't know what I was doing at all. I got paid $200 cash. And I had a moment. I was just kind of like, man, that's $200 cash. If I did 5 of these a week, that's $1,000 a week. But at 10, you can start to do the math in your head, right? Over the next several months, from time to time, I would just ask a homeowner, hey, I saw your gutters were dirty. I'd be happy to clean them out for $150, $200, right? Between that time frame and COVID hitting, I probably did like 5 or 6 gutter cleanings. Just some side money I would use for gas or a drink at the gas station or taking me and my wife out to eat or whatever. COVID hits, I go into a panic because I'm no longer able to go out and get work and in 100% commission. I knew that the money I had in the system was all the money I had. If I wasn't putting new jobs in, then I wouldn't be getting paid. I knew there'd be a lapse in the future at some point where I wouldn't be making any money. I knew I'd be okay for the next several months, but there'd be a point where it'd go away, right? And when COVID first happened, nobody knew if it was going to be 2 or 3 weeks or if it was going to be forever, right? So we didn't really know. Anyways, rather than sitting on the couch and watching Netflix and Tiger King, which I did watch, but I instead opted in to try to take life into my own hands, and I kind of thought back to that gutter cleanings, or those gutter cleanings that I did. So, you know what? I think I could do this. I think this is a service that I could offer that could be enough to live off of. I think it's possible. And there's a couple reasons I wanted to do it. One, I had done it already, so I knew that I had the capability to, one, sell it and two, do it. Two, I already had almost everything that I needed already. I was coming from the roofing industry, so I already had truck, already had a ladder, already had cougar paws, already had a pitch hopper, already had these things that I needed to be able to get up there. I was used to being up high on the ladders and things like that. All I didn't have was a blower and the gutter cleaning tool, which are extremely cheap in the grand scheme of things and getting started. I also like the idea that it was a lower ticket item in times of scarcity in the economy, right? People are worrisome, didn't know what it was going to be like, and then paying $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $20,000, $30,000 for a roof just felt unsure in that moment. But hey, I'll clean your gutters for $150, $200, $300 didn't feel as much of a burden on a lot of people, especially when they needed to be done. And then the other thing was the social distancing piece, right? I think a lot of us know now that was unnecessary, but the social distancing piece was a big barrier in my roofing stuff. I wasn't able to sit at a kitchen table and sign a contract for 20, 30 grand with a homeowner anymore, which would prevent me from doing business. But with the gutter cleaning stuff, I knew via marketing my business online and utilizing technology, i.e. Google Earth, proper CRMs, things like that, and being able to email and or text over a quote, that I could do this without ever having to meet somebody. And that was really the kicker and why I initially started it during the lockdown. During the lockdown, I sat down for about a week, built out a website, built out a company name, the services I was going to offer, which in the beginning was gutter cleaning, gutter guards, and gutter repairs, and started posting the photos that I had done of the few gutter cleanings I did the previous months on a Facebook business page, on Nextdoor for $5. You can do an ad on Craigslist. on Nextdoor. I was posting everywhere, trying to get out of obscurity, trying to get attention on me that, hey, there's a new business in town and these are the services that I offer. And a big push was no contact inspections, virtual 100% virtual inspections. You send me your address and then what service you need. I can either drive by and look at it outside and never have to knock on the door or meet with you in person to give you a quote, and or I could utilize Google Earth and Google Maps and things like that to provide a quote virtually. And that's exactly what I did. Started having people roll in, started people asking for gutter cleaning quotes. I was able to provide quotes that way. I was able to go out, do the work, take before and after photos, send them to the homeowner. They okayed it, like, yes, everything looks good, and then send them another link for them to pay the bill, and then send them a receipt, all virtually. And that was, I guess, in the grand scheme of things, it's not that crazy, but coming from the world of roofing, which is fairly primitive when it comes to using technology, it's getting better here more recently, but like, I was used to signing carbon copy contracts. Peel one off the back, here's yours, sir. So being able to do that and collecting physical checks for stuff. But so being able to do that was like revolutionary for me in my mind. And I was like, man, this could be something, right? That eventually snowballed into a bunch of other things. But that's how I got into gutter cleaning. I don't know if that's a cool and sexy story or if that's just another boring one. But in short, COVID forced me into thinking outside of the box and forcing me to actually take action and becoming an entrepreneur, because I'd always wanted to be an entrepreneur. I was really a entrepreneur, right? I always wanted to do these things, and that's why I went from being a W-2 employee to the roofing thing, is because that was the closest thing I could be to being an entrepreneur without being one, right? So I was a 1099 contractor, but I got to utilize the company name, their prestige, how long they've been around, their reviews, their systems, their insurance, all the support, all that kind of stuff, but I was still 100% commission. I had to go make it happen, which was the marketing, sales side of stuff. I was as close as I could be. But once I really pushed in and took over the entire business and started doing all of it, it's when the light switched for me, man. So, that's what I've done, right? Ever since then, I have owned and run a gutter cleaning-ish business. That original business kind of snowballed into becoming a home service business, which I do not recommend. I went from being a gutter protection expert, right? So gutter cleaning, gutter guards, gutter repairs, to hiring a sub to do full-blown gutters, which is a good thing, to offering full-blown power washing services. So not just house washes, but concrete and roofs and fence and deck and all that kind of stuff, to eventually opening up a lawn care division. I had a whole trailer with 75 yards, and we did landscape projects and mulch and trimming bushes and cutting down trees and stumps. It got really out of hand, and the problem was I went too wide, and I really lost the authority in any one of the spaces, and I just kind of became okay at all of them and not the guy in that area. When I was just the gutter guy, I was really dominating from an online presence and physical presence standpoint. People knew that my company was the go-to, the authority in that area for gutter stuff. Once I went too wide, I was all over the place. So this go around with the rebranding of the company and obviously moving in a location, I'm keeping it niche down. It's just the gutter stuff and then just house washing, because that's a natural progression. So anyways, man, as always, guys, I appreciate the support, man. I love hearing the stories and the comments about you guys, being inspired and taking your first steps or making your first few sales. Bro, please keep putting those in. Keep asking questions. I don't get to answer all the comments, but I most certainly will try my best to answer the ones that I can. As always, if you're thinking about getting into it, man, go ahead and grab the ebook. It's going to teach you how to get your first $1,000 in the gutter cleaning industry. And aside from that, man, keep them clean.